afternoon. I'm Valerie Plame Wilson, and I've got a story to tell you. Thank you very much for that kind introduction. I am thrilled that this is my first speaking event, sponsored by Bay Path College, and I see a sea of women here, and I'm delighted. And it's probably no secret that I think that women can do most of the things men can just as well, and some things better. Let me give you a very brief overview of what this story is about. I served my country proudly in a career that I loved. I had some amazing experiences. I got to go through the paramilitary training at the CIA's farm, that's what they call it. I did things like literally jump out of airplanes, and I loved doing that. And later in my career, I focused on counterproliferation issues. And one day in July 2003, my husband, Joe Wilson, as a matter of principle and conscience, decided that he would write this op-ed piece that was referred to earlier. It appeared in the New York Times entitled, "What I Did Not Find in Africa." And in it, he refuted the primary reason for this administration, the primary reason that they took us to war in Iraq, which was the nuclear threat. And the administration was furious with Joe, and they went after him. And they started a sustained campaign of character assassination. And then they went after me. And what I'm going to tell you about today is that story. And it's the story of the importance of speaking truth to power, the consequences, and how I believe, my husband and I both believe, how important it is that we as citizens hold our government to account for their words and deeds. Well, the SOB did it. And I knew what he was talking about. Robert Novak had printed my name in his columns, and it felt like I had been sucker punched in the gut. That's the best way to describe it. I was thinking about instantly the network of assets with whom I had worked. I thought about my family's security. I thought about my career, which I instinctively knew was over. And all of this happened in an instant. And it felt, I had gone from being a very private person, and I was happily doing that. I didn't need to derive any external recognition. I got a great satisfaction out of what I was doing. I didn't need any of that until literally overnight, there was this media maelstrom. And I found it mortifying and very, very difficult to adjust to. I would say I'm still adjusting to it. In 2004, in my book, I call it Our Year from Hell, because it really was. The Republican attack machine against my husband really kicked into high gear. Joe was called a liar, a traitor, and worse. I was accused of nepotism, and the attacks were constant and heavy all the time. It was a very, very difficult time. Even worse, this is, take my case out of it, but what this does as an example to maybe future sources of critical intelligence out there in whatever foreign country, and they hear this story, and they say, they couldn't even protect one of their own. Why should I jeopardize myself or my family's lives and put them on the line? I'll go talk to the Russians down the street. So that's why it's so insidious. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any faith left in this government?
Do I have any faith left in this government? I make a very careful distinction between my government and this administration.